I think Bob and I have gotten some requests on some knife sharpening. So we're going to kind of do a little an episode here for you on keeping your knives sharp, broadheads, any type of cutting utensil. So we're just going to do a kind of a quick little video here for you. There's all kinds of equipment and sharpening devices out there. I guess the most common is a sharpening stone of some sort. This is a sharpening stone that my grandfather used. It's an ultra fine stone, and I still use that stone to this day. But you can also see here on my table that I've got all kinds of different types of stones and sharpening gadgets, so to speak. So I'm going to kind of walk you through some of these. The first thing that I want to talk to you about is all of these sharpening devices, stones, this belt grinder, this Lansky sharpener, they'll all have the same results. But you've got to understand what you're doing and how to use it. So that's what I want to try to clear up for you all. So let's talk about the edge of your knife or your broadhead or whatever it may be. All right. The cutting surface, the cutting edge. What happens is that edge will get rounded off. So I'm going to try to draw upside down here, and that edge will become rounded off through wear and tear and all that good stuff. What we want to do is we want to bring that edge back to a nice sharp, so it cuts and does what it's supposed to do. So with that being said, we'll grab another piece of paper here. Before I do that, we're going to take that knife edge, and I'm going to kind of walk you through. And I'm using a coarse stone here. And I want to use the correct angle, and I'm going to kind of help you with that. But I'm going to draw that knife edge across there until I create a burr on the opposite side. All right. So I'm drawing that knife across here, and then I'm trying to feel for that burr on the other side. So let me show you what that's going to look like. When we're creating that burr, what we're doing is we are flattening that side, and we're pushing that metal lip over to the other side. And you can't see it, but you can feel it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my finger and I'm rubbing up the side of that, and I'm feeling for it. Once you feel that burr, that's what I call it, a burr, then you've done what you're supposed to do. And I can slightly feel that on that other side. All right? And then we're going to do that to the other side, keeping that same angle. And we're going to draw that knife across, or broadhead, or whatever it may be. Important to keep the same angle. All right, and then I'm going to feel for that burr on the other side. Once I get the burr, okay, flipped over onto the other side, and this side's gone now, then I have created the perfect edge. All right, so I've created and repaired the damage that was on that blade. All right. So now all we got to do is get rid of the burr, right? And that's why we have other courses of stone that kind of go along with it, all right? So let me back up because I want to make sure that I'm clear with you all. You start out with a dull knife. That edge is rounded off. It's been used and abused. It's dull. When we're sharpening, we want to create that burr. So we're shaving off metal on one side, and we create that burr on the other side. We want to feel for that burr. Once we know that we've got that burr, then we know we're ready to go to the other side. All right? Now we just got to get rid of that burr. All right? When we get rid of that burr, then we've got a properly sharpened knife or broadhead. All right? So let's back up. We got a dull blade. We drag our knife, keeping the correct angle across our stone or whatever method that we're using. And so that's repairing that knife blade. So it's dull, and now we're going to repair it. And we've got that burr slightly to one side or the other. And in order to take care of that, so let's back up to technique in proper form. So what I do is I take a Sharpie and drag that along my cutting edge. All right. This gives me a visual of, am I removing material correctly? All right. And so you can see that I'm removing that Sharpie in the right angle. If it's not, then all I've got to do is adjust. And I'll turn this to where you all can see, is I just adjust the knife blade till I'm cutting or removing material from the proper angle. All right? I will reapply my Sharpie material just on the cutting edge and make those adjustments until I am removing metal material in the right angle. All right? And I can see that I am doing that. All right. So that is how to find the proper angle for your particular knife. All right. Now, some of these other, like this Lansky, right? We have different slots. This runs from 30 all the way down to a 17-degree angle. So we just got to find the right angle for our knife blade, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to sharpen across that knife until we feel that burr on the other side. It's all about the burr, people. It's all about the burr. All right? So this does the same job that this is doing. All right? A little handheld that I keep in my pack. This is probably the most common knife sharpener that I use other than a power tool. Same thing. What I like about this is I can position the knife, and I can kind of take this and draw it across the knife blade like a file. You typically get a little bit more control that way. And again, feeling for the burr on the opposite side. All right. So no matter what kind of sharpening device that you're using, it's all about keeping the right angle and creating that burr on the other side. And I wish I could show that to you on video, but you feel it, right? It kind of catches you kind of feel that rough edge, right? And the side that you was drawing across the stone, you're not going to feel it. So you're going to feel it on the opposite side. So as I drag my knife across my stone, I'm removing material and it's going to kind of hang on the other side. Then I'm going to do the other side the same way. All right? And now I'm pushing that burr over to the other side. Once I've done that, then it's time to move to finer materials. You can use a leather belt. You can use a finer stone. This particular one has a medium and also a fine. And same thing, I'm going to keep that angle. And I can use my Sharpie to let me have a visual. But now I'm going to use a lot less pressure, and all I'm doing is removing the burr. Right? Once I remove the burr, then you're going to have a perfectly sharp knife that is going to cut rope, whittle, peel an apple, skin a deer, whatever you need it to do. All right? So that's what those finer stones are for, is removing that burr. And I've been using this method for a very, very long time, and it works for me. And that is making sure you get the burr and then remove that burr. All right? Once you have a sharp knife, it is a whole lot easier to keep it sharp than to abuse it and get it super dull. Then it takes a lot more time, and now you're using a very coarse stone. But if you keep a sharp knife, if you keep a knife sharp, then all you got to do is use that super fine stone and touch that knife up every so often. Touch your broadhead up every so often, and you're going to be a much happier person, and it goes a whole lot faster for you. All right? So it's not about the gadget. It's understanding that I have got to shave material off of that knife blade. I've got to shave material off of that knife blade. Shave material off of that knife blade, creating that burr on the opposite side. Once you create that burr the length of the blade on the right side, you do it the length of the blade on the left side, and then it's just removing the burr. It's that simple, folks. Don't make knife sharpening harder than what it is. Couple tips. Pick a system that works for you. Pick a system that is mobile. This I can stick in my pocket. I can stick in my pack. This gets me when I'm out in the woods, deep in the mountains, or wherever I'm at. This is going to keep my knife sharp. This is a great system. It is awesome. It's quick. It's easy. Anybody can use it. But this is not going to sharpen your knife way up in the mountains. All right. So tip is keeping proper angle, understanding the burr, and make yourself have and understand and be able to use a mobile sharpening product. Okay. You're going to be much happier if you do that. So again, no matter what you use, it's all about repairing and keeping that edge nice and sharp. Use a Sharpie for visual. Use your finger to feel the burr. So now I've got a visual and I'm feeling it. Try to keep that same angle, and you too will be able to keep a knife razor sharp, whether you're at home or out in the field.